Hello. Hello again. Oh yeah, I'll come find you in a minute. Hello. You join us on the second day. It's like Groundhog Day. So we're here again at the Fit Expo. We have a world first for you. So there are very many rare items in here, like linear presses, linear rows. We've got 3D hip thrusts, a kickback over there being used in the corner. The reimagined seatless adjustable benches around here, and so we've got, these are unique. We've actually got a world first. The reason this one wasn't here yesterday is it's a prototype. It's a working prototype, so there's a couple of tweaks, but in terms of a prototype, we're pretty much there. Okay, so it wasn't here yesterday because we sent it over to paint quickly, and you will see that we fudged some stuff, like it hasn't got the nice diamond upholstery on it. It's got regular rollers that we've pinched off something else. And also this footplate, and if you come around, the idea was on the finished article, this would be anodized, whereas we've literally kept it bare still. So you can see the best, I actually quite like it, but it was more where we were running out of time. Anyway, the product itself. So these are going to be thicker pads, as you see on our ISO leg extension over there. The upholstery will be more in keeping with this. As you can see, we're not upholstery makers, hence on the prototype we have the cruder finish, but the concept works. So world's first standing leg extension machine. The initial thing I think people think is, don't you need something behind your leg? Well, the guys, let's show my nerdy side. So the guys were asking me the concept. And if you look into the history of it, then early leg extensions, you were in a standing position. But if, say, there was a Swedish physician, late 1800s, so we're going back over 130 years, it was all hip flexor dominant. So you would rely on your hip flexor. Bob Hoffman of York barbell fame, there were iron boots in like the 40s where you'd put literally an iron boot on, and again it'd be hip flexor dominant. So everything was reliant upon your hip flexors. Then you had the American celebrity Leland, who was famed for things like the Smith machine, but also where you then had a seated leg extension. And it's kind of become the norm ever since, a seated leg extension. We have variations for hamstrings, but leg extensions are seated. I think it presents some problems, and this is how the product came about. So in the gym environment, we've covered our ATX leg extension before, and where possible is I'll put extra holes in a machine so that you can lean back a bit more and get a bit of stretch on your hip flexors, because Ben will agree here, I spend far too much time sat on my bum during the day, and if I come down to the gym, you're conscious. On a particular day, I came down and I was already quite tight. I was probably under the weather, and the last thing I wanted to do, I wanted to warm my knees up, but the last thing I wanted to do was a seated leg extension. The bench, which we've bastardized before, so that you can put the back pad further back, was in use. So I rigged up a machine with bands because I wanted to get a stretch. But then after doing a few stretches, I am a man of a certain age where I only stretch if I need to. It's like, right, let's go play. And then you're off. So I did need a stretch that day. So I was stretching on a machine, and then I rigged it all up with bands. Quite precariously, they could have landed in my face. But what I realized was you could perform a leg extension standing with ease. Do you need something at the back of your leg to brace it? No. Your only reason for doing so is to take your hip flexor out of it. On here, I'm driving my thigh into the pad. I say driving, it's not like I'm having to force it there, it naturally wants to sit there. This is far more a natural position and a very good leg extension. You just swap from one side to the next. It almost makes me think, why hasn't someone done this before? It's that intuitive to use. You also look then at things like Rehab, where, let's say my dad's had knee surgery, is they'll try and avoid you, or if you are going to do a seated leg extension, they'll get you to go very light. It might get you to avoid cable machines because of the initial stress on your knee. Well, you got to think as well, as if you've got a force in that direction, like if you're seated and you've got a force in this direction and then you're bringing a force in that direction, you've got forces going either side of your knee, which is why they suggest things like a sled push. So you're performing this motion under load and you haven't got shearing forces in either direction. Well, that makes it redundant. You don't want someone who's just had a knee op and limited motion and they're trying to increase their motion to then be doing this on a sled, which could be quite awkward when they can't even walk, whereas you could actually do it on here. I'm confident in that. Ben, do you want to jump on? Because you got the shorts on and better legs.
Yes.
You'd be a good example on it.
I also find I get pain in the back of my leg. So if I've got if you have a seat where I feel like I'm really feeling it on the back, I then get pain in the front. So this takes that out completely.
So again, because you're on your standing leg as well, you might look and think, why haven't you got any adjustment on there? Well, you are your adjustment. Because if you're standing on here, like an inch above your other leg, then it naturally falls in the right position.
And then I'm bracing.
And that pad is just set anywhere on your thigh. So Jake jumped on here as well. It fits Jake. The larger roller pad, like we use on the ISO leg extension over there, will actually increase the range as well if you wanted a greater range. Because there is one adjustment where you could make it lower down, but the pad will make it higher up. Jake, do you want to jump on and do one?
Yeah, give it a go.
Yeah, I have no doubt about it.
So here we go. Look, we're all different sizes. All different sizes, all different makeups. Jake would want more weight on there. So with me mentioning it's a prototype, you'll see it's pretty much there. There's tiny tweaks we need to make. So on here we have band pegs. We had originally intended a band peg there, which we've cut off, simply because when we put it in another position, which I'll show you, we found that potentially it could intrude your position. So we're just going to alter that and put a peg in here. So if you wanted to adjust the strength curve, you could put a band around the top, it then loop around here, loop around the back, and you can change the strength curve again if you wanted. Okay, so this isn't the only trick up its sleeve. So you've got the world's first standing leg extension machine in a footprint which is less than a meter, but furthermore, you've got a standing leg curl. So that's your two adjustments for standing leg extension. Remember, we're going to put that better roller on it, so it's going to be thicker. And you come down here, adjust this cam at the back, and you've got a section out here which adjusts if you come round down. So you can take this one out, this adjusts, pull this out, and what you've actually got is a standing hamstring curl. Now, when I say it's a prototype, we need one more hole in here so that I get full range. Currently, if I were to set that up and do it like this, then I can only get to about there. It's a tweak. This is a prototype. It's near as damn it as close to what the finished article is going to be. So it's largely fluff, as in we want our nice Bristol made upholstery on it, and we'll increase the size of these rollers. But other than that, all we've got, band peg in here, extra hole in the cam so that the leg curl works. But you've got the world's smallest leg extension leg curl and the world's first standing leg extension. Okay? UK design registered, patent pending, feels a dream. I made this for commercial use, but where there is such a large home gym market now, so many people, like already this morning, we're only like half an hour into the show, they get it. They're like, oh, I PT at home in my garage, or I've got a garage gym. I haven't got enough room, something like this. I could fit this. One small thing is it is British made. It's not going to be cheap, but this will fit. So this will fit within that space. If you think I've got a garage, power rack, bench, cable system, you would have room for this leg extension, leg curl. Okay, so it is British made. It isn't going to be cheap. We'll see what we can do once production starts, because this prototype is pretty much here. We just knew this was working well enough that why not bring it to a show like this when people are already jumping on it and finding out what's what. So hope you like it. Be sure to check us out, the Gym Revolution, at the Gym Revolution. We do have many very rare pieces, as you see around the gym. Unique pieces like these seatless adjustable benches, which you cover in another video. And then this one being the world's first standing leg extension.